Alright guys, last lesson of 9.3. This is part 3. Alright, we're not gonna do much of this property today, or if anything at all. But this is gonna become important later on where we're gonna be solving logs. And I like to call this our duh property. Because duh, it's pretty obvious. And what this is we have two things. If we have a raised to the n power is equal to a raised to the n power, then because these a's are exactly the same, then m is equal to n. Duh, we can just kind of cancel these out because they're exactly the same. So if like I had 3 raised to, I don't know, the second power equals 3 raised to the x power, we know for sure, because these bases are the same, that 2 has to be equal to x. The second part of our duh property is if I have logs this time, so log base b m is equal to log base b n, then same thing, m is equal to n. Now this part is important. We have to look and see. I have log base b, log base b. So our two logs are equaling each other, and we have to have this equal sign right here. When we have that, we can just drop our logs and cancel that out and just have m equals n. But in order to do this, you need an equal sign and you need to have the logs with the exact same base. Otherwise, you are not able to do it. So keep that in mind. That property is going to come back when we are going to solve logs. Right now, we're just kind of simplifying and kind of going through the properties. Alright, but the main focus of today's lesson is called the inverse property. Inverse property. Whoop. What this is if I have log base b of b raised to the x power, this is going to be equal to x. So if I have this, my base and my big number equaling each other, that can just kind of cancel out. So we just have it equal. So it just is this little x right here. The next thing is almost exactly the same. If I have b and it's being raised to log base b x, that is also equal to x. And the reason for that, kind of the same thing. If I have b and it's being raised to a log with the same base, that can cancel out and we're just left with x. So let's kind of try some examples out. So this is number 9 in the notes. If I have log base 6 of 6 raised to the 5y, it's actually not too bad. We just look and see 6 and 6, those wind up canceling out, and all we're left with is 5y. And that's it. Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's not too bad. So let's look at number 10. I have log base 5 of 125 squared. And you may be thinking, hey, I can bring this 2 out here. And you're right, you can. But we're just going to leave it there for right now. We want to see if we can actually just use our inverse property with this. So first thing you got to look and see, hey, I got 5 and 125. And you notice those are not the same things. But what we can do is we can break down this 125. And I'm going to do that over to the side right here. 125, I want 5s because that's my base. If I break this down, that's 5 and 25. 25 breaks down to 5 and 5. I have 1, 2, 3 5s. So I can replace this 125 with 5 to the third power because there's 1, 2, 3 5s. So when I rewrite this, I have log base 5, and this 125 I can rewrite as 5 to the third power, but we still have this 2 right here. We can't forget this 2, so we're going to multiply the exponent by 2. So now when we look and see, I have 5 here, 5 here, those can cancel out now. And all I'm left with is 3 times 2, which is just 6. Not too shabby. So when you don't have your number and the base being exactly the same, try to break it down and try to get that exponent. For number 11, I have 4 raised to log base 4 of 75. So this is where I have a number being raised to a log. So I look, number, base of a log, the same, so those can cancel out. And we just have 75. And that's it. That's our answer. Number 12, I have log base 2, 16 raised to the 4th power. Okay, well, we look and see first, is my big number and the base the same? No. So I have to go over and break that down and see if I can get it in 2s. So 2 and 8, 2 and 4, 2 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 16 I can rewrite as 2 to the 4th power because there's 4 2's. So I can rewrite that as log base 2, 2 raised to the 4th power, but I still have this 4 up here, so times 4. Can't forget about that. So now, you look and see, I got 2 and 2, those are the same, so those can just cancel out, including the log. So you're left with 4 times 4, which is just 16. Let me tell you, erasing this without Windex is amazing. Should have done this years ago. Well, maybe like weeks ago, because we've only been in quarantine a couple of weeks. Alright, last one. Number 13. Lucky number 13. I have 10 raised to log 3x. And because we have a log with no base, we always have to assume that the base is 10. And then you look, big number and the base are the same, so as we cancel out, and we're just left with 3x. That's it. That is, so we just went through all the properties, and that's about it with logs. Please let me know if you got questions. We will be having a quiz tomorrow over all the properties. So the properties that you need to know for the quiz, you need to know product property. So you need to know product. You need to know quotient. You need to know power. And you gotta know inverse. Those are the main properties that you need to know for tomorrow's quiz. Please let me know if you got questions, if you need to stop in during office hours. Please let me know. Or if you want to work one-on-one, again, just let me know.